Welcome to my edit suite. This is the introduction to our first module on Chapter 1, exploring new possibilities in media production and the technology of distribution. I'm sitting here putting the final touches on a video about my dog, Ralph, who's a dachshund. And soon I'm going to distribute it up to YouTube and maybe email it over to some friends of mine who are interested in Ralph, and also those individuals who may be interested in the life and times of a dachshund. So I have an audience that I'm thinking about putting this to, but at the same time, it's the technology that I'm also using that allows me to distribute. So watch the rest of this module, and at the end, go back to WebCT Blackboard and do the assignment on Chapter 1. Well, in our video intro, you could see that I had already selected an audience. I think it's very important to understand audience analysis. And we had talked in class, more importantly, what the demographics of that audience is. And that included the age, gender, income, education, religion, culture, and language. Very important to understand your audience so you can better visually communicate with them and they can receive your message. But also the other part of this chapter involved the technology of distribution. As you saw in my little video intro, you could see that I was sitting at a computer using a non-linear editing application, which once I'm finished editing, I was going to turn around and distribute onto the internet. So which distribution method I want to use is a question I'll ask. What format will I produce in? What electronic media will it be used? Did I record this straight from a camera to my hard drive? And what genre? Well, not too much of a genre for me for this one. But the other question about distribution that we talked about in class is there are 10 channels or 10 ways that you can choose to distribute your visual communications. And those included AM terrestrial radio, over the airways radio, HD radio, or often what is called in-band on-channel or IBOC communications or distribution. And we want to point out that AM, FM, and HD radio are both terrestrial. In other words, they're over the airwaves. We can distribute via a mobile phone, a satellite transmission, in other words, beaming something down from a satellite into either a radio, a satellite radio, or to a video receiver for your television. We said XM radio as well as Sirius, as well as Dish and DirecTV are good examples of satellite distribution. Then there's terrestrial television, traditional, and make note that now it's only digital, no more analog television. We can also distribute via cable companies and telephone companies. We distribute on disks and disk. In other words, I can give you a hard drive or a jump drive with my visual communications on it, or I can give you a CD or a DVD. But the internet is also a big part in what we do in distributing our visual and audio communications as well. Don't forget about games. Games are very important since more and more people are using games. In other words, bigger audiences, and you want to reach out through games to also pass your messages. But traditionally, motion pictures has been a format to distribute and still is. So those are a couple of things that I think you need to understand out of Chapter 1, and I think these are important items that you will need to know.